What's in this document?
Well, there's no official word from the Fine Gael press office, and any queries that going to them have gone unanswered today about the nature of this document. This was first reported today in the Irish Independent, which says that it's an 18-page dossier which basically outlines something of a Fine Gael attack plan against Sinn Féin. But from speaking to party sources today, what I've been able to establish is that this in fact is not a new document, that this was circulated to members of the Fine Gael Parliamentary Party by party headquarters shortly after last October's budget, that effectively doesn't contain anything about Sinn Féin personnel, nothing of the likes of what we might have heard of leaders' questions yesterday, where Leo Varadkar was raising some previous run-ins that Pearse Doherty had with a member of Garda Síochána back in the year 1998. Rather, it is a document which criticises Sinn Féin's economic stance, pointing out what Fine Gael sees as some hypocrisies and some of the various problems that might have been arisen with Sinn Féin economic policy had they been pursued over the course of this government. We've been speaking today to one Fine Gael junior minister who has explained a little bit about what is contained within it.
The focus of this document is to reflect what a Sinn Féin government would mean for the citizens of our country. How you can build 20,000 houses for 140,000 per unit on the backdrop of soaring material costs and labour costs. What an increase in employers' PRSI of 36% would mean for retaining jobs in our economy, while the government was focused right through the pandemic trying to retain employment through the Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme and other schemes.
So I am told that this document does contain just issues around policy, for example, and doesn't contain any personal details of any infractions involving any individual Sinn Féin members, which means that the arguments raised by Leo Varadkar towards Pearse Doherty at Leaders' Questions yesterday were not pre-planned or were not contained in any kind of a briefing. They were simply a reaction that Leo Varadkar thought was appropriate at the time. Party sources telling me today that simply he was fighting fire with fire, and that if there are question marks around dinners or run-ins with the Gardaí being raised, that Leo Varadkar felt entitled to reply in kind. Sinn Féin, for its part today, is declining to comment about this story either. It has pointed to tweets simply posted by one of its TDs, the Dublin West TD, a constituency colleague of Leo Varadkar's, Paul Donnelly, who simply says that all of this is a distraction, and saying that if anyone has concerns around Fine Gael and the way that they've run the country, then they should simply not involve themselves in any kind of contretemps or any kind of spats involving that party, but rather they should attend a series of nationwide demonstrations this weekend about the cost of living to try and force action from the government on that front.